Alt 92.3.
How's it going, Kevin Kenney, Mumford and Sons, Alt 92.3. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, you know, it's been a busy week for you. We're happy you're here. You look great on Fallon. But I guess the most important question, is the album done?
No.
This is. I thought that was the weekend assignment last week. I was reading in NME. They were like, you know, promoting the new single, of course, Guiding Light, and they're like, they're hoping to finish Delta this weekend.
No, it's not done yet, but
Okay.
it will be done by Friday.
By Friday.
Sure.
This is like me in school. I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to hand it in this week. I'm going to hand it in next week.
Yeah, we've been mixing every night with Tom Elmhurst at Electric Lady, and it's been a very efficient period of time for us. Promo during the days, mixing at night, bit of sleep.
Yeah, what a concept.
And then go again, yeah.
Is this the closest to the release date you've ever finished a record?
We historically finished a record before we announce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
In the future, we'll probably continue to.
Well, I guess on that topic, you know, maybe what you're alluding to there is, I know about a year ago this time, everyone felt a little differently about the idea of a next album. And I don't know if that was sonic differences. I don't know if that was the idea of an album, you know, people feeling differently. But how do we feel collectively right now about Delta?
I feel really excited. This feels like probably the most important moment of our life as a band. It's really
So heavy
exciting.
words.
Yeah, it's like this is not just the next chapter. This is like a really important record for us. So we're excited to get it out there, and we're enjoying. We've heard it now quite a few times because we've been mixing it, and we just want to share it with as many people as we can.
Yeah, I heard you guys say recently, or maybe it was a journalist that said it, but that we're expecting a far more introspective record than we did on the last one when it comes to you guys in Delta, and that excites me as a fan, because I think when an artist does make an introspective record, not only can I enjoy it musically, but then I can apply it to my own life and sort of look inwards as a music listener and a music fan. I'm curious though, with all this inward looking that you guys must have gone through over the past 3 years, there had to be some harsh truths or some hard truths you had to accept that maybe you didn't before. What were the greatest discoveries personally for you guys?
The hardest truth I discovered was that I'm not quite as awesome as Ted. That really hurt. I thought, you know, look at this guy. I'm better than him. But no, it turned out no. He's got, what have you got, beehives now? Got a place in the country. He's got his shit together. And I just, so he was, like before, I was here and he was here.
And
now,
switcheroo.
and I've, so that's been, it's been a nosedive, and it's been miraculous ascent on this side. And that's the trouble. And so I think, you'll hear that on the record, I think.
I was going to say, I can't wait. What track should I look out for on that one?
I can't articulate it now quite as well as I think we've done it musically.
Right.
But yeah, listen out for that.
How times have changed.
I think whenever anyone has to sort of sit and talk about 3 years worth of their life retrospectively and try and summarize it in words or even in songs, then it sounds quite heavy, sounds quite intense, because 3 years is a long period of time, and these songs were written kind of over a 3-year period since Wilder Mind. In fact, some of them came from before then, but when you then try and summarize what the album's about, it's about our lives over the last 3 years. And a lot of stuff's happened over the last 3 years, so there's a lot of stuff in the record. So I think when you sort of sit and summarize it, it sounds quite melodramatic, but it's just life, isn't it? And so we've always written just about our lives autobiographically. So that includes everything from birth to death and, you know, everything in between, really.
Yeah, of course. And the recording process was really interesting. I know a lot of artists, they don't want anybody in the studio when they're recording, but this was very different. I understand it was kind of like an open door policy. You guys were just inviting people through. I know, you know, a lot of people want to talk about the Jordan Peterson pop-up earlier this spring, but aside from that, what would you say was the most memorable appearance of somebody stopping by, or most memorable night from that process?
Yeah, it was a really open door policy. It was great actually, because the way that the church studios are set up is kind of sofas in the same room as everything's being recorded. The actual desk and the monitors are all in the same space, so it felt like something we wanted to share with people. We had hundreds of people coming through those doors, and it was just a revolving door. I always liked having our family members come through, because they hold us most to account. You know, like the truth kind of, you can't hide from them. So when they came in and listened and nodded along, or, you know, sometimes criticised earlier on in the process, it was good to have them there. We've never had that kind of such a diverse range of people come through. It's been good.
Yeah. Any well-known names that we wouldn't expect to stop by?
You had your favourite cricket player there the other day, didn't you?
Kane Williamson, who of course you're familiar with, greatest batsman in the world.
Yeah.
He's a Kiwi cricketer. He came by.
You know what? When we started Mumford and Sons, there was no YouTube, and so we played songs, and they could change and they could evolve, and then even actually with the second album, YouTube sort of was growing, and the songs were out on YouTube before we put Babel out. And so with Wild in Mind, we were like, we don't want those songs to be judged before we've finished them. So we went into the studio. It was a reaction against that. And we've still got the same problem, is that if we play these songs, they'll go up on YouTube. But we also need to test them on people. We need people, we hear it through their ears. So we've needed to bring people into the studio because we can't play these songs live in danger of them going online. So that's been part of the process, and that's been a really rewarding one, and I think the music's better for it, and I think that's something we'll carry on going forward.
Yeah.
Unless YouTube dies a horrible death.
Which we hope not. YouTube, if you're watching.
Let's do YouTube.
One of the big the headlines coming out of the Rolling Stone interview was that we're going to get everything from electronica to hip hop on this album, and I just got to go straight to hip hop. There, are you rapping on this album?
Do you want to get the beat going?
Hip hop influences on this Delta?
Well, we secretly are all quite big lovers of hip hop. First record I ever bought was Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and went through a very obsessive Jurassic 5 phase during doing exams at high school, where I was supposed to be revising and wrote out all their lyrics and learnt them word for word. Happens that Paul Letworth, the producer, is a big hip hop fan. He's just made a sort of, I refer to it as space hop album of his own, which I'm not sure if he has any plans to release it, but it's amazing. But so he's quite into it, especially at the moment as well. So that influence came through, especially in the process of creating beats for the record. Some of which we started with 808 drum machines, or we'd start with live drums and cut them up and sort of go at it in a different way to the way we've done drums before, which was really fun, especially because we don't have a drummer in the band. But now we are all playing drums on the record. Winston got on the record playing drums for the first time.
Big news. Big news. Here's your headline, Rolling Stone.
First time in 10 years.
Are you ready? I'm playing drums on the new Mumford and Sons album. It happens. That's right. You'll be able to. I won't tell you which song, but you'll be able to tell because it's particularly good drumming. It stands out.
And then we had a few guys come through, including a guy called Octavian, who is unbelievable. We're just big fans of his.
Is Octavian on the record?
He's not on the record. We've done some stuff, and I think we're going to do some stuff in the future. But no, not on this record.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his.
He's amazing.
Hands is a great song.
Agreed.
Yeah. Two quick questions before we go here. Ben, you were saying something that really caught my ear in the Rolling Stone article about a big question maybe you have, or maybe it's a collective question of heading into this record, or maybe still even to this day, of what is it that Mumford and Sons do? Right, and you're contemplating this. Now, that struck me because I think when you open your career like you guys did, with Little Lion Man and The Cave, and even extending to, I Will Wait, whether you like it or not, the world tells you what you do, right? So for you to personally still be contemplating that, I thought was interesting, and I just wanted you to elaborate on that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, sort of not just, it's not really a Mumford and Sons question specifically. I think it's something to reflect on. Any first impressions stick, right? So whatever. If you see, I think about actors a lot, comedic actors that move into drama, like more sort of serious drama. I find it really hard to watch that transition sometimes, and there's no reason why I should think that, because if they're doing a good job, then they're doing a good job. And so musically, I just feel like we're going to constantly evolve, and there's an element of our first impression or our initial records that is integral to who we are. It's where we, it was the first stuff we put out, and we're going to continue playing it live, but we also need to continue to move forward. And so it's not just about that being it's not like a linear A to B. That was just a part of it, and we're now kind of, I think, quite a spectrum. So I don't know, obviously I'm still kind of mulling it over, but I do think it's interesting to not be kind of, you're not Mumford and Sons anymore if you're not doing what you were doing when you were 20. It's like we are as much Mumford and Sons now as we've ever been.
Right. And how dare you as artists not do what you were doing when you were 20? Right?